Blessings and welcome. Sorry for the delay. Had to do a little bit of troubleshooting with the internet. Please join us for chanting, prayer, announcements, discourse, and the Rainbow Bridge meditation. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 I am that I am, I am that I am, I am that I am, I am. I am that I am, I am that I am, I am that I am, I am. I am that I am, I am that I am, I am that I am, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am. I am the master living here, free from doubt and free from fear, knowing now all good supply ever comes from realms on high. I am the hand of God's own fortune, spreading forth the treasures of light, now accepting all good fortune, to spread God's love and great light. I am the master living here, free from doubt and free from fear, knowing now all good supply ever comes from realms on high. I am the hand of God's own fortune, spreading forth the treasures of light, now accepting all good fortune, to spread God's love and great light. Om Mani Padme Hum. Diamond in the lotus, the lotus of light and dark, individuality. Umani Padme Hue, diamond in the lotus of light and dark, individuality. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soham. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soham. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soham. Om Tare Ta Soham. There is only one. Yes, there is only one God. There is only one. Yes, there is only one. There is only one. Yes, there is only one God. There is only one. Yes, there is only one. Dearest Mother, Father, God, the one parent of us all, the one in whom we all live, move, and have our being, in thy holy and protective light, we ask you to come, 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 descend, 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 and manifest, manifest, manifest in, through, and about each and every soul. Help us to receive your blessings so that we may carry out the work. Shower these blessings upon us. Help us to remove obstacles and let the obstacles be removed with our team, our spiritual team. We work together towards this expansion of consciousness, understanding, love, peace, unity, and harmony. Bless our hearts with love and understanding. Bless our spirit with courage and strength. Help us to be compassionate and wise. We ask for a blessing upon all kingdoms upon this planet. That darkness is transmuted into light. that we receive the light. We withstand the light. We do not fear. Help us to remember to call upon our spiritual team when we need help. That we remember we are not alone, that we are all one. Help us to realize who we are, all that we're made of. We thank you, God, for all that we have, all that we receive, and all that we give. Thou art the all-powerful, almighty, one without a second. Amen and amen. Om Tat Sat Om. Please give me a moment to adjust the camera. Blessings and welcome to the Spirit of the Lotus on this day of January 12th, 2025. And we are here in Belen today. So it's a beautiful day. It's been a bit chilly in New Mexico lately. If you're in New Mexico, you can look out at the mountains and see the misty mountains and with the snow. So if you are here in New Mexico, don't be afraid to go outside and take a look. It's very beautiful. And in terms of announcements, please go to our website, send in your registration form if you plan on coming to the July retreat in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. And just a side note about that, I live close by to Truth or Consequences, more or less, and I was reading that, and I think it was in the 50s or 60s, the city was formerly known as, well, even prior to Hot Springs, it was known as Paloma Hot Springs. Paloma is dove, and it was well known for its healing waters. And the name of it was Paloma Hot Springs, and then it became Hot Springs. So it was Hot Springs for a long time. So it was on the map. If you had an ailment, you would go to Hot Springs. And I'm not sure if the article actually said this or if we were just thinking about it, but they changed the name to Truth or Consequences. And it's a very interesting situation now, because, for example, if you say, oh, I'm going to Truth or Consequences, people go, what? So instead of, oh, I'm going to Hot Springs. So in a way, it kind of took, and it could have been the 70s, but changing the name in a way took it off the map, because you wouldn't, drive by it and say, oh, this is Truth or Consequences. They have Hot Springs. You would drive by it and just keep driving like Truth or Consequences. What is that? Because it's, even for me, I was not around during the game show. So it's really so that even Truth or Consequences to me is just a very strange name. We have no connection to these things. So that place is a very, throughout time, renowned for its healing waters. They say the hot springs have no smell. So if you do go to hot springs, you might notice in different places that you leave the hot springs with like a sulfur smell, or it can become very pungent. And Truth or Consequences is known for not leaving that smell. The waters aren't super sulfury. So anyway, that's just a side note about Truth or Consequences that I found out recently, and thought was very interesting because of the place that it is. And so anyway, July retreat, Truth or Consequences, formerly known as Hot Springs. And thank you, as always, for your support for the church. You know, all the different kinds of support that you provide for us. We are truly grateful and thankful. And we do rely on you to keep the church open. And so thank you very much. Other announcements. There will be an open house in late May. And there will be some classes. If you did not attend last year's retreat, please, it's kind of mandatory to attend those classes so that you're prepared for the July retreat. And that's all for announcements today. So today's service is on the Four Noble Truths of Buddhism that Buddha taught and that Buddha realized and taught. And I would like to preface this service with, I haven't deeply studied Buddhism. I'm not an expert. So I would recommend, if any of these topics seem interesting to you or speak to you, that you look into them in your own way as well, because I hope to do it justice, somewhat of justice. And the tricky part about it is that they say it's very difficult to talk about with words, and we're using words. So I would just like to preface that it's a huge topic. It is something that people spend lifetimes understanding and going through. So but the purpose of this service, because we have been exposed to the Four Noble Truths, is to reawaken these different teachings and remembrances that can help us understand and move through difficult times. And it is, we just had the solstice, it's becoming more, the light is the day is expanding, it's getting more light. But the winter is a time of reflection. Some people could say like darkness, going into the darkness, going into that kind of hibernation mode, or that, looking at these deep waters of life. So today I will be discussing the first three of the Noble Truths, and then Reverend Joseph will carry it on next week with the Eightfold Path, that's the fourth step, which helps us it teaches us how to work with these first three noble truths. So thank you, Reverend Joseph, for that, because I know he's kind of an expert on this. Sorry. I call you. So I gotta use I just have a basic thing here. So let's get into the Four Noble Truths. These were taught as almost a science of the nature of reality. Some people say it's more philosophical or spiritual, but as we continue to gain understanding through this reality, science and spirituality become more intertwined, and not even intertwined, but they explain each other, or they reveal each other. And the first noble truth is a huge topic, and it's called dukkha. And it is the truth of suffering. And what we're hearing is that suffering is a very limited word. So, and it's in English. So it has the cultural context of English, but it's the basis of reality is this concept of suffering. What is suffering? And this is also seen in like a lot of Hindu philosophies as well, where it brings us back to this all experience that we have is suffering. So again, this is kind of it's a hard truth to realize. And what is suffering? There's examples, for example, stubbing your toe is a form of dukkha. Also, losing a loved one, it's also a form of dukkha. So it's any cause of any type of anxiety, stress, fear that we experience is this dukkha. Now, the part of this that's challenging is that it is said that even happy experience, joyful experiences are actually also dukkha, because of it is like impermanence. It's the nature of change. So in this third dimensional reality that we're in, if you receive some blessings that you're so happy to receive, the nature of reality is that will change and it will go away. And then there will be the suffering. So this is like the nature of reality, the nature of our existence. And it can be very difficult because we get into habits. The reason why these noble truths are so important, especially getting into the Eightfold Path, is teaching us how to move through these sufferings and to not be held back. And we've heard this like, what is it? It's you need to face these things and allow them to move through you, but not to live with them and let them move in. So how do we move through these, which eventually is what these four noble truths teach us how to do, give us a guidebook, a guideline to be able to not be completely consumed by dukkha. We even think of getting a pet, and human lifespan is much longer than most pets. So we get a pet, maybe a dog, and we when we get the dog, we realize, if we have the maturity, or this cat, that there's a possibility that I'm going to outlive my pet and I will, lose my pet. And so there we are in dukkha. It's such a joyful experience, a beautiful experience of love, companionship, and just joy, pure joy, that we know is, gonna go. It's gonna move. So that type of thing is this experience of dukkha. So how do we, as human beings, how do we have the strength and the understanding and the love to still accept these joyful experiences, knowing that it is impermanent? And I know Bad Bunny, sorry I'm mentioning Bad Bunny, but he just came out with a song, and it's I Wish That I Would Have Taken More Photos. And it's about love, and it's about that experience of that joy that eventually, slips away. And we wish that, we had those photos to go through and look at those and, hold on to the love. And at the same time, we are the source of the love. So we don't need to have anything, because we are that. We're kind of going off a little bit here, but so dukkha is this life experience of suffering and moving through these things. So it's one of the first parts, and I'm not going to get into it. Reverend Joseph's going to help us with that, but is that first step of the Eightfold Path is that realization. It's that ability to accept these energies. And it's not and it's for us to move through them. If we are rejecting them, if we stay in ignorance, so we just pretend like it's not going to happen, or we reject the energies. So there's a lot of this uncomfortable energy that we reject and resist. This uncomfortable energy, we judge it, we call it bad, we call it disruptive or annoying or frustrating or whatever it is. When we reject that energy, we are choosing not to recognize the nature of reality. So this can be that's why we need things like the Eightfold Path and whatever practices, whatever spiritual practices we use, because it helps us to move. It helps us to keep going. It helps us to accept the change. So This dukkha is a huge to awaken to dukkha, to realize dukkha and what it is and how it affects us is a huge first step. It's rejecting ignorance. It's us being willing to see this nature of reality, which is not easy. And it's the common, what we hear, why would God allow that? Why would God allow that? Why, being angry at God, like, why would God allow suffering? It's a common human throughout all spiritual teachings and experiences. Why would God allow that suffering and pain? And we're still awakening to the true reality. So we can't excuse it, but we have tools within ourselves as spiritual beings to help. And one thing to consider is our attention is often drawn to the parts of the world that are experiencing the most suffering, quote unquote. So we think of, okay, this place is experiencing the most suffering, the whole world is suffering. And there's something to be said about that because we are all one. We also need to remember the places that and the households and the consciousness of the planet, of the people who are not suffering and the people who are living in harmony with nature. And, it's both. So we have to recognize the duality. And this is not a judgment. It's not good or bad, and it doesn't excuse one thing or the other. Okay, so that is dukkha, the depths of dukkha. That's just a very piece. So the second noble truth is samudaya. And this truth is that all dukkha is caused by craving, desire, or grasping. And the purpose of this service is to help us get into the flow, to help us get to more of the receiving energy, to get into the flow. So we experience this suffering. The root of the suffering is craving or wanting. So, for example, I'm hungry, or thirst. It's also called thirst. Thirsting for something. Thirsting for money, power, reputation. There's all of those typical things that we've heard, like people want those things, wanting food or anything that you would want. But what this also gets down to, for us to look at this as the root, so we'll use the example of, okay, I don't want to keep talking about pets because I love pets too much, but I want the companionship of a pet. So, wanting that companionship. that love, that joy that they bring, the cuteness, the funniness, the attention that they give me. That's the craving part. So through the craving, I accept the responsibility of getting a pet, but I'm also accepting the loss of the pet. Even though I do believe our pets are with us all the time, even if they transition. But losing the pet in this third dimensional reality. So this craving for, I want to be recognized at work. What do I really want? What is the real root of that? I want to make more money at work. What is the root of the craving of that? Why is more money wanted? I want to work less. I'm working too much, or I want to work more. So getting down to the root of what that craving is. And there's actually a business strategy. It's called the 5 whys. You can ask yourself, just to get down to the root of the issue, what is it that is causing that craving? So if I say I want to go to Paris, and I'm very agitated, and I know this is like a silly example kind of, but I'm very grumpy or agitated that I can't go to Paris because I can't afford it. I can't get my bills paid, so therefore I can't save for my trip to Paris. So I feel like, because of this, my life is not complete. My life is not fulfilling because I just can't do what I want. I want to go eat some croissant. Okay. So for us to address this dukkha, we can start to ask ourselves, what is causing this craving? Okay. The first why. Why do I want to go to Paris so bad that it's causing suffering for me? Okay. 1, I want to have fun. I want to go have fun and eat a bunch of delicious bread. Okay. Okay. Is that really it? Let me ask again. Why do you want to go have fun and eat this delicious bread? Okay. I want to, I feel empty inside. I feel like I have no joy in my life. Okay. Why do you feel that you have no joy? This is a self-questioning process that you can do. It's used in business, but it works for many things. Why do I feel empty inside that I want to go eat this bread? And I have to go to Paris to do that. Okay. So I feel like I'm not having new experiences. And you can keep drilling down into the whys of what is really causing the craving, what is really causing the suffering. And it will usually get down to these really deep realizations about ourselves. I don't feel loved. I don't feel the spark of life. I don't, I want to feel the spark of life. I want to go on an adventure, whatever it could be. And I think those are still getting deeper into it, but really addressing those core root and recognizing them, just recognizing them and relax with them, getting into the flow of okay, accepting it. I accept this about myself in this moment. But I also know, because of impermanence, everything is changing. And this is just one moment. This is a moment of dissatisfaction. This is a moment of craving. This is a moment of need. And I allow it, and I allow it to pass. Okay? Then I go to the local French bakery and maybe grab a croissant and eat it and say, you know, I love myself, or whatever the remedy is to feel that love and that self-compassion, understanding, but moving through it. And again, Joseph will get into that later. So the first one is the dukkha, and then the second noble truth is, thank you for your patience, I have to check the words, is the samudaya. And the third one is nirodha. So, and we kind of just went into it a little bit, but the third one is, by taking care of the craving, it takes care of the suffering. By taking care of the craving, it takes care of the suffering. So we did kind of go into that realm. Just recognizing there's a craving, going through it, really identifying it. And then really taking care of the craving. So I thought my whole life was going to change if I just could go to Paris. But what I realized is that I just need to take myself on an adventure in my neighborhood, to give myself something that I'm craving, something that I'm craving. So, you know, but more deeply addressing it, rather than like, I'm just going to have to figure out a way to go to Paris. And maybe you do. And then maybe by relaxing, by letting all of this clear, allowing it, accepting it, not rejecting it, we find ourselves in Paris. And maybe it's in Las Vegas. No, I'm kidding. But like, you know, it just relaxes. It takes away the tension. It takes away the resistance that's causing that magnetic pull to lack, to not having enough. So the fourth noble truth is the teachings that Buddha shared with us to give us the path. It's called the path. Well, and I should tell you, it's called Magga. And I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's the truth of the path to the end of suffering. And that is the Eightfold Path, which has a series of steps. Because even though we accept these three first truths, we don't get stuck there. We're given the tools and the practices to help us relieve these cravings, to address the cravings. And all of this gets into it, that deeper, the deeper question of life, where they say, if you want nirvana, it will flee from you. What you want flees. So it's causing suffering. It's wanting nirvana and wanting to achieve enlightenment causes that suffering, that tension. And there's so many ways to work with this. Like, even, do we accept that tension as we move forward in our path? So it's a huge topic, very exciting. And we've learned about this years ago, and we hear about it, but we can come back around to come back to these things that are there waiting for us to use them, to help us address life discomfort, sadness, suffering, and helping us to balance our lives, helping us to be in the flow of life, helping us to accept our entire experience on this planet and not reject things that are happening to us or within us, and allowing them to clear out, and then keep finding what's underneath. So with that, we will go into a deep level meditation. So just relax. And tomorrow is a full moon, so we will do like a bit of a full moon healing towards the end. Relax and visualize the colors of the planetary rainbow bridge. Red crystal firelight, rose red crystal firelight, red crystal firelight. See this crystalline rose red ray healing, healing, healing every cell and atom of our being, healing our circulation, our health, our finances, our sense of security. Release the red ray. Visualize orange crystal firelight, orange crystal firelight, orange crystal firelight. See this crystalline orange ray of light moving in, through, and about every cell and atom of our being. Healing, healing, healing our subconscious mind, our emotions, our dreams. Our subconscious mind reveals itself for healing. We do self-care by taking care. Release this orange ray and visualize sunshine yellow firelight, sunshine yellow firelight, sunshine yellow firelight. Yellow crystal firelight, sunshine yellow firelight, yellow crystal firelight. See the sunshine yellow ray, healing, healing, healing. Your will center, your thinking mind. Burning away all negative thoughts. Aligning our will with the higher will. Now release this sunshine yellow ray and pay careful attention as we move from the lower realities to the higher realities, from darkness into light, and from death to immortality. Green crystal firelight, emerald green firelight, green crystal firelight, green crystal firelight, green crystal firelight, green crystal firelight. See this green crystal and firelight healing, healing, healing your inner and outer environment, bringing about harmony, belief, belief in the quantum reality, the expansiveness of the soul, and this emerald green ray of light. Now release this green ray and visualize moving in and out you and moving all about you. A sky blue ray of light, blue crystal firelight, 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 blue crystal firelight. See this crystalline sky blue ray of light, healing, healing, healing your spirituality. Revealing truth, spiritual power, and creativity. We are free to be heard. Now release this blue ray. Purple crystal firelight, 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 purple crystal firelight. See this purple crystalline ray of light. Self-mastery. unity consciousness, transmutation power, darkness transmuted into light. In this purple crystalline ray, moving in, throughout, and all about. Gold, crystal fire, light, clear white crystal fire, light, clear crystal fire, light. Golden crystal fire, light, golden crystal fire, light, golden crystal fire, light. Our spiritual helpers, bringing us gifts. These gifts dropping into our aura, into our consciousness. Clear white crystal fire, light, clear white crystal fire, light, clear white crystal fire, light. Freedom. Understanding. Golden crystal fire, light, golden crystal fire, light, golden crystal fire, light. Ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Let the universal consciousness and spiritual helpers know. Don't be shy. God is manifesting. Clear crystal fire, light, clear white crystal fire, light, clear crystal fire, light. In this crystalline light, we realize we are completely surrounded by rainbow light. Translucent, sparkling, our spiritual helpers reveal themselves, supporting us. Golden crystal fire, light, golden crystal fire, light, golden crystal fire, light. Clear white crystal clear white crystal firelight, clear white crystal firelight. Now see this light expanding and expanding out, out, out. All across this planet, within and without every cell and atom of our being. And rest and relax in the clear crystalline firelight. Now see a twin river flowing from infinity, and see a twin river flowing from the throne of God. See these two rivers flowing into one down through the center of our crown, creating a clear and perfect channel in the light. Now bring this energy back, 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 up through the soles of the feet, down in through the palms of the hands, and down through the center of the crown, bringing this energy back, back, back into the center of our being, coming all the way back into the body. Now we are shining as 10,000 times 10,000 suns, clear crystal firelight. And when we're all the way back into the body, rub the palms together and cup them gently over our eyes. Blessings and have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.